का नाम कॉकरोच है, मैं लखनऊ से आया हूँ।
If you thought you can fight the Gen Z, wait until they create a meme on you. Now, they may not win elections or every protest or even a political battle, but the political weapons that worked on the millennials and the boomers may not work in the same way on them because Gen Z does not carry the same historical baggage that we do. In India, my generation remembers, or at least we grew up hearing about the Babri Masjid demolition, the Shah Bano controversy, the banning of Salman Rushdie's book, the Gujarat riots, the UPA years, and the Anna Hazare movement. Many Indians came to believe that Congress-style secularism had become a minority appeasement. Secular was often mocked as secular. By 2014, a large part of the country wanted change. The BJP understood that frustration and they built the Narendra Modi's image around development and strong leadership. Whether you supported that transformation or opposed it, our politics was shaped by what came before it. But for much of the Gen Z, there is no meaningful discourse of before Modi. The Modi era is not a promised alternative to a previous government. It's a political establishment they have directly experienced. And that changes everything. A similar generational divide is visible in the US over Israel. Older Americans were politically socialized closer to the Holocaust, Israel's creation, and the war framed around its survival. Gen Z has no lived memory of those events. Its image of Israel is instead shaped by Benjamin Netanyahu, settlement violence in the West Bank, and the occupation of Gaza. An endless stream of images arriving directly on their phones. Recent Pew and the Gallup polling shows that the younger Americans are considerably more critical of Israel than older Americans. In Gallup's 2026 polling, sympathy for the Israelis among young adults fell to a record low of 23%. But we must be careful. Gen Z did not single-handedly cause the wider decline in Israel's standing. Criticism has also grown among the older groups. Historical memory matters, but for the Gen Z, the present day experiences have more effect. And that's how we need to look deeper into the CJP protest in India. Gen Z is not comparing the present government with the UPA government. It is comparing the promises made to it with the life it is actually living. You tell young people that India is rising. They will ask, where are the jobs? You tell them education is a route to success. They spend years in coaching centers where the families dump all their savings. And then an examination is leaked, cancelled, or delayed. More than 2.4 million candidates they have registered for the NEET UG exam in 2024. When the integrity of an examination on that scale is questioned, it is not merely an administrative failure. It damages young people's belief that effort will be rewarded fairly. And now you add unemployment, inflation, COVID disruption, and anxiety about AI replacing jobs, and you begin to understand the disillusionment. You cannot answer that anxiety only with history, religion, or PR. And then came the memes. This generation took Get Ready With Me and turned it into Get Ready With Me for a protest. They adopted subway surfers to show themselves running from the police. They mocked the police for not beating them to a race. They placed police officers in the background of relationship trends. A protester dressed as Mahatma Gandhi became a season 1 player. So when the word cockroach itself, which is usually perceived as an insult, is reclaimed and they created the Cockroach Janta Party, this is not humor replacing politics. Humor is the politics. A meme compresses anger, identity, and criticism into something that can travel faster than a TV debate. Mainstream media can call the protesters foreign funded, irresponsible, or even anti-national. But Gen Z already understands how narratives are manufactured. They don't trust TV anchors, nor do they watch them. That does not mean that Gen Z is immune to propaganda. The algorithms can trap young people in misinformation and ideological bubbles just as easily as they trap older generations. And not every meme is progressive. For sure, some protest posters definitely crossed the line. After the protest, Delhi police have asked the platforms to remove posts described as abusive or objectionable towards the Prime Minister. The state can investigate accounts, it can demand takedown, it can punish unlawful speech, but it cannot arrest a format. Every official reel can become a parody, every slogan can become a remix, every attempt to control the narrative can generate another 1,000 memes. And here lies a challenge for the current political establishment. You cannot communicate with Gen Z simply by translating an old political message into a vertical video. You have to address the reality underneath the joke. These young people are not free from history. They're creating their own historical memory right now. from paper leaks, unemployment, policing, algorithm, and the feeling that institutions are not listening. Memes alone cannot build institutions, write policy, or guarantee electoral change, but dismissing them as childish misses what is happening. The joke becomes a shared language, the shared language becomes solidarity, and sometimes solidarity leaves the screen and arrives at Janta Party. That is why we cannot fight the Gen Z using the old playbook, because while you are still defending the narrative, they have already turned it into a meme. I'm Dr. Sabir. See you in the next one.